Hello, my name is Stanley Master, and I'm doing the book review on the book Something Upstairs by Avi. And in this book, there's a boy named Kenny, and he was living a utopian life, which also means perfect, in California by the Pacific Ocean. And when he was living there, he pretty much got to do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. But once he had to move because his parents got new jobs, he had to completely adjust. And his parents tried to make him feel comfortable by giving him a brand new attic which to live in. And when he lived there, there was a stain on the floor. And little did he know it was the blood of a murdered slave which had dried and just couldn't come off. So one night he stayed up late investigating the house and stuff like that. But anyway, he saw something come out of the closet. And it looked like a human body at first, which it was, but it wasn't exactly a human. It was a ghost. And so throughout the book, he's making friends with this ghost, trying to get to know him, and just trying to understand his life and how he got murdered. And so what he does is he goes to like the museum and the library and a bunch of other places to find information. And what he finds is that he was shot by a man while he was sleeping. And the door was locked from the inside, which makes it a lot, more interesting. So when he went to the library, he found that Caleb was in the newspaper that one day, and it was in the 1800s. So when he went back to tell him, that night, Kenny had went to the past. And when he went to the past, he saw a man that was dressed in all black, and he was just running from Caleb, and he he was running from Kenny, and then he dropped a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, it showed him one street name, and the street name was the name of the road that Kenny and Caleb would need to go to. But when Kenny and Caleb went to that road, they found that it was just a riot. And the riot was through, it was just a bunch of drunk soldiers who were angry at slavery and how it was being taken away from them. So Kenny and Caleb get in a huge fight there, and Caleb actually had a musket with him. And when one of the guys was attacking a house, he shot him and killed him. So then they all had to run away from there. But before all that happened, Caleb had ran away from Kenny, and Kenny was in the past, and there was a sailor that took his keychain, and without his keychain, he was pretty much changed, so therefore he couldn't get back to his present day. So therefore he had to help the man, which later in the story, this is a foreshadow event, he had to help the man kill Caleb, which he didn't know of at first. But turns out the man that took his keychain was the man that he saw outside of his house. And when he went to kill Caleb, he didn't feel like it'd be the right thing to do since he had made friends with Caleb. So he went upstairs. The man went and hid across the street from Kenny's house. And remember, this is all in the past. So, about 150 years ago in the past. So when he goes upstairs, Kenny and Caleb make a plan where Kenny would not kill him. But he had a wound about right here on his face. And Caleb would cut that wound open on his face and get blood all over the back of his shirt to make it look like he was shot in the back. And then Kenny would fire the gun at the ceiling, and then he'd wait for the man that took his keychain to come upstairs, and then he'd shoot him. But that didn't all work out as planned. So the man kind of knew it was going to happen, so he walked upstairs, and he expected for Caleb not to be shot, which he wasn't. So when he went upstairs, he was inspecting him, and Kenny didn't know that Caleb fell asleep because it was like 4 in the morning. Yeah, but Caleb was asleep, and Kenny couldn't shoot the man. And the man took his gun, and he said, "You either kill Caleb, your friend, and then go back to the past, or you stay here with me forever." So what he did was the man left the gun on the floor and walked out. When he walked out, Kenny started to cry. And then he decided to just shoot Caleb, which he didn't think was the right move, but it was the only way he would be able to continue to live his life. So in the paper, in his present day, when he got back to his present day, he went to the library, saw the paper in which he'd found the information on Caleb before, and it didn't say that Caleb died. It said that the man, his name was Pardon Willingford, and he said that he died rather than Caleb, which was kind of confusing, but anyway, I like this book because it has a lot of suspense elements, including foreshadow, a ton, and then pacing. But pacing wasn't used as much as foreshadow, but it was still used a good bit. But then there's also a bunch of literary devices, like I'm trying to remember one. It was when Kenny and Caleb were going to the past, and when they went to the past, Kenny had to run back into his house because he didn't know that they were in the past yet. So he ran back up to his room, saw that nothing was there, and ran down the steps. And then the quote from Abby was, Kenny then bolted down the steps like Flash. No, it wasn't like that. It was Kenny now bolted down the steps. But that was off of, I think it was page 50. But I think that showed that Kenny, throughout the whole book, was running around chasing after Caleb, which had been his new friend and his only friend in Providence, Rhode Island. So, all in all, I think this is a really good book to buy or just read because that's what I did. I just read it, which I think I got a good read out of it. So, I didn't have to buy it. But, yep, I think you should buy this book and read it.